Hello, Al Pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents. My official thoughts and rating for She Hulk Attorney at Law. The series has finished up its first season on Disney Plus. I always like to wait till a series is finished before I give my official rating for it. So now is the time. But of course, before I do so, caution, there may be some spoilers ahead. Always a courtesy, just in case you don't want to know anything. This would be the place to kind of stop and come back later. With that out of the way, what did I think of She Hulk Attorney at Law? Well, fandom once again ripped itself into with lovers and haters of a series. And not just loving and hating, I mean loathing and despising and just absolutely glorifying and enjoying and being happy as hell. Not a lot of middle room, it seemed, for a lot of people in this for this series. Where do I fall on it? I really loved She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Of course, I don't think that's going to be surprise to many of you because I've hinted that I was enjoying it anytime someone brought up the fact that they thought it was a dumpster fire. I really loved the show. I loved its quirkiness. I loved its fourth wall breaking. I think it had great writing. It was beautifully shot. Is it perfect? Of course not. Before I go any further, let's get that straight. No, it's not perfect. My rating will show that out. But nothing needs to be perfect for someone to enjoy it so much as I did. And I always like to get out of the way. What was the best part of this show? Tatiana Maslany. I think she handled herself wonderfully playing this role. She brings charisma and charm and this little glint in her eye every time she breaks the fourth wall and addresses the audience. It definitely feels like she's talking to you. And there's this odd connection. I felt it. I don't know how many others did, but it kind of made me feel like I was part of the show, and I enjoyed that. And beyond that, I think she has great comedic timing. She has uh, just a handle on how to portray such an odd character. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, she has some sci-fi cred. She was in Orphan Black. I didn't really know her from that. I knew her from a small stint that she did on Parks and Recreation way back. And I didn't even know that was her. She just has this great ability, I think, to morph herself into the character that needs to appear. And she was able to bring out Jennifer's quirkiness and also able to play She-Hulk's confidence and security and strength. I think she played a great uh, double role here and handled it perfectly. I don't know of any other actresses that could have pulled it off. She did, and I think should be applauded for it. I think they set the series up wonderfully, having her get powers from uh, being exposed to some of Bruce's blood, and of course they had Mark Ruffalo around for a couple of episodes to help a Hulk teach a Hulk how to be a Hulk. And I think their relationship it was very fun. It definitely had that great uh, cousin vibe, and that I don't think the series would have worked nearly as well if they didn't take that little bit of time to get these two together and have the experience they did. Thankfully, they didn't suddenly go off on this weird adventure episode one. They took time and had great exposition. It was a fantastic supporting cast that the show was able to get. Ginger Gonzaga was fantastic as Jen's friend Nikki. Josh Segura playing Pug was this wonderfully awkward uh, guy, given a few moments to shine. Renee Elise Goldsberry as Mallory, a fellow lawyer. Griffin Matthews as Luke Jacobson, the designer for the superheroes. I think I really hope they keep his character around. I think it was a lot of fun. But of course, you can't have a superhero show without some other super powered people and their friends to kind of play off of. And this show had some great ones. Tim Roth returning as Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. Reformed? Question mark. Is he? There's some moments in there. Some other opposition that she had to take on was Jamila Jamil as Titania, Brandon Stanley as Leapfrog, who is just ridiculously stupid, but kind of fun to watch. His episode had um, the the best other character show up, which I'll get to in a moment. Reese Coro as Donnie Blaze, and then you get Benedict Wong coming in as Wong the Sorcerer Supreme, and his new bestie Madison, played by Patty Guggenheim. All of them just bring just this great comedic element and a little bit of sense of menace in the show, and I really think that worked. But what did I love most about this show? Come on, it's the return of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, the Daredevil, redesigned for his new series that will be coming out eventually. Going back to the iconic yellow and red as opposed to just all red, and I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it, but it seems to work, and it's not this bright yellow thing, but I think it's definitely working. But it's just so wonderful to see him back in the comics. Daredevil and She-Hulk kind of have a on again, off again kind of a thing, and the chemistry between Charlie Cox and Tatiana Maslany could melt steel, man. They were hot together, and that was a lot of fun. I got to admit, now I'm very much a shipper for Daredevil with Karen Page, but I really did like his chemistry with Jennifer Walters. So we'll see how that goes. I know She-Hulk Attorney at Law is not going to be for everyone, but it had a great cast, which to me is probably the most necessary element. They had a great cast and a great leading actress to be the anchor of the show. But like I said, it had its issues. The CGI, yes, it was a bit off in many places during the show. Did it take me out of the show? Not too much, but they might want to work on the facial stuff. And I know they can get it right because there are some scenes where it's like, damn, that was really well done. And then there's a few that just looked off and awkward, and it's like the eyes didn't seem to want to go right. But so it was very hit and miss. And yes, they do need to address that. Uh, 9 episodes, I think, is a good length for a series, but there are a couple of episodes in the show that were rather unnecessary in the long run. I think they kind of could have been combined. One was to introduce the guy would who was working for the ultimate bad guy. Uh, there's another. Um, of course, she's fighting Titania. There's a wedding, which I don't know if we needed a wedding to happen in there. And everybody was waiting for Daredevil. They did take their time finally getting around to getting Daredevil in the show. It took 8 episodes. I think that was a bit long, but when they got him there, they nailed it. So definitely some things off with the the CGI. Some of the writing, it's so outrageous. I almost wondered if it was too outrageous. I personally liked it, but a show should always try its best to get maximum appreciation. And I think that is where it kind of did go a little awry. As much as I enjoyed the crazy twist of the series season finale, I think a lot of people are going to go, WTF? What the hell? No. So I mean, if the series was divisive, those who stuck with it and loved it, I think the season finale is going to split the lovers in half as well. And I think a show needs to be careful when they do it. Artistically, I applaud it. That's what they wanted to do. They did it. I think they did it well, but I'm also a realist and I know it could have gone horribly wrong. Ultimately, where do I fall? Like I said, it's not perfect, but I really, really did like it. I think it is a solid 3 stars. I'd have given it 3.5, but I just think the controversy, the controversial season finale, I think is kind of cost it. I think, or at least my opinion. I enjoyed it, but I'm also smart enough to know that a lot of fans were not going to like what they did. I know that's kind of weird to say it that, but hey, I call it as I see it. If you see it another way, that's great. Do a video on it. I would love to hear what you thought about She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I went into this series wanting to like it, and I really, really liked it. I was not disappointed, except for where I just told you. So that is it. She-Hulk Attorney at Law, 3 solid stars. I do recommend it for you to watch, but have an open mind and just go with it because it does go in some weird places. Now that I have finished with that, I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, Big Al Presents. If you didn't like the video, I still hope you subscribe to my channel, Big Al Presents. More reviews, rewatches, and rambles in the weeks and months to come. If you did like this, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And share it around, see if people will agree or disagree with my opinion. I always like to hear that. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I hope that everyone has a great time finding something to watch, and whether you watch She-Hulk Attorney at Law or something else, I hope you enjoy it and love it, because that's the point of watching something, is to love it. Don't hate watch. It's a waste of time. Take care, everybody, and until next time, goodbye.